Today we're going to talk about goal setting. Have you ever set a goal like I want to lose 15 pounds before my vacation or before a wedding or whatever event you're attending, and you set out saying you're going to do it this time? You want to feel amazing in that swimsuit or that new dress, but 99% of people that set out to lose weight for goals like that never actually reach them. So let's kind of explore a little bit why that is. First, goal setting without a plan is merely just a wish. So these goals become like, I wish I could lose 15 pounds before my trip, or I wish I could lose 30 pounds by the end of the year. Just thinking it and wanting it is not going to make it happen. So if you're stuck in this cycle, it's time to learn what you're doing wrong and how to make it happen this time. So we can wish for things all we want, but the people that are successful at anything in life make a plan and set goals, achievable and realistic goals. And they don't just say their goals in their head or out loud. People that are successful at reaching goals write their goals down, they make a plan, and they write the plan out. But let's step back first and look at why you're here. Why are you watching this video? So let's look at your big picture of why. Is it for weight loss? Is it to gain strength? Is it to hit a fitness goal? Is it to run a marathon? Is it to get off the couch and do a 5K? Why is it that you're looking at this video and listening and trying to learn about goal setting? Maybe it's even to increase your speed or improvement for a sport. Maybe it's to improve your overall health. What is it? Why are you wanting a change? What is it you want to improve about you and your health and your fitness? So think about that and reflect on it. Start to write down reasons that you're setting goals and deep, thoughtful reasons. Those are your why. Not reasons like, I want to drop a size. That isn't thoughtful. But why do you want to drop that size? Not because I have a wedding to go to or because I have a vacation coming up. Those are also just temporary things. You need something that is deeper. So some good why statements are, I want to increase my self-esteem. I want to feel better in my clothes. I want to stop this yo-yo that causes my mood swings. I want to be happier. I want to be more confident. I want to age easier and healthier. I want to establish healthy habits now that can last the rest of my life, so that I never struggle with my weight gain again. I want to decrease pain in my back or my hips or my knees so I can be more active, and maybe as you get older, so that you can play with your grandkids easier. So this is an example of my why statements that I did during this whole quarantine stuff since March. I have not been training, I have not been teaching, I have not been exercising myself regularly, and I have gained quite a bit of weight back, not just over the quarantine, but even a little bit before that, but that's a long story. So this extra weight gain I have, I need to lose it now, and I'm struggling. This doesn't come easy for me either. I'm a human being. Just because I have a personal training, my certification doesn't mean that this is easy. It's still a challenge for anyone, and it's hard, and this cycle is not fun. So this is my why statement that I made when I was going through this lesson myself and reassessing why I want to get back into shape and how I'm going to do that. So take a minute to write your why statements and make them thoughtful. Now look at how you're going to get there by setting goals and making a plan. Set realistic, short and medium, and even long-term goals. Set goals that involve not only food in your diet, but also your activity. So let's start with looking at monthly goals. Your monthly goals want to be realistic. They want to be achievable. You don't want to set yourself up for failure. It's realistic to expect 1 to 2 pound weight loss a week, but setting a goal to lose 20 pounds in a month is not realistic, and it's hard to reach. Or maybe you want to run a marathon. Setting a goal to run a 5K by the end of the month is achievable. Setting a goal to run a 10K for someone who isn't a runner right now is not achievable. So think about goals that are realistic. Think about how healthy you eat right now, how active you are right now, and what will be realistic for you. So for example, some monthly goals might be to lose 8 pounds this month, to establish a regular exercise routine. menu plan 5 days out of 7 days every week, to have more energy. Those are realistic goals that you can achieve by the end of a month. But to reach these goals, you need to make a plan. What will you do that involves your food and your activity? Start out with weekly plans now. You have your monthly goals. So now look at what you can do every week to reach those monthly goals. Weekly plans are more achievable and they give you a chance to assess what you've done and adjust it week by week. So for the first week, make an action plan that might look something like this. Now this is obviously based on my example goals that we just looked at. So these action plans involve 2 food-related action plans. Those are, I will plan out and eat a healthy breakfast 5 out of 7 days this week. Now that would be a good action plan for someone who doesn't normally eat breakfast regularly right now, or maybe doesn't eat a healthy breakfast right now. Second food-related action plan would be I will food journal 4 out of 7 days. Maybe journaling all 7 days just feels really daunting for you, so pick a number that you feel like you can handle. 2 activity-related action plans might be I will exercise 2 days this week. So pick a number of days that you will exercise during that first week. If you're someone who doesn't exercise right now very regularly, 2 days might be a great number. If you're like, well, I've got a lot more time than that and I really want to speed up my weight loss a little bit, then maybe pick 3 or 4 days a week. But don't jump in so fast that it's not going to be maintainable for you either. And then maybe you choose a challenge, like using only the stairs this week if you're someone that's going up and down escalators or elevators a lot. Maybe walking every day using a step monitor and saying you're going to hit X number of steps every day. Maybe doing a morning or a nighttime 15-minute yoga video. Pick a challenge that will challenge you, but that won't be a burden. And that's something that you can do daily. So we chose 2 food-related action plans and 2 activity-related action plans. Stick with no more than 2 of each. Any more than that can be really overwhelming and you might set yourself up for failure instead of success. This is about setting yourself up for success. It's about being realistic, setting things that are achievable for you, that aren't too far off from what you're doing right now, and going at this with baby steps. When you do this in a smaller, slower baby step approach, you're going to be way more successful. So now let's look at each of these action plans and figure out how you will make sure you will do it. How will you get there? Let's explore the examples above. You wrote down 2 food-related goals for your first week. One was eating healthy breakfast 5 out of 7 days, and one was journaling 4 out of 7 days. How are you going to reach those 2 food-related goals and actions? So for example, let's talk about eating a healthy breakfast. Maybe you need to write down that you are going to sit down every Sunday and plan out a few breakfast foods that are healthy and easy and make a grocery list. Use Google. If you need easy, healthy breakfast ideas, type it into Google. You will be amazed at the ideas that come out. Get your grocery list ready and get to the store, but plan all of that out. Write it down that you're going to either on Sunday or Monday or Saturday, whatever day it is, that you're going to plan out your meals. You're going to make your grocery list. What day are you going to grocery shop? What day are you going to get all of that done? Then the second goal was to journal 4 out of 7 days that week. Well, how are you going to make sure you do that? What are you going to use for a journal? I mean, just saying you're going to journal, you have to take it another step further. Are you going to use an app like MyFitnessPal or Noom, or are you going to use a paper notebook? And so get a dedicated notebook and keep it with you. Make it something size that you can bring with you everywhere you go and write things down. Journaling is so important to start to recognize not only what you're eating, but how much you are eating, and it is eye-opening. Every one of my clients that does not want to food journal at first, and they just don't have nearly the success as quickly as my clients that do for food journal. And they realize, they usually decide after about a month or so that they weren't journaling and it wasn't really working as well, so they give it a try and it changes their world. And it's not just about weight loss, but journaling can help you figure out anything you're having, like digestionally, if your stomach is upset, if you're having constant headaches, if you're having aches and pains. Sometimes all that can be food related as well, so a food journal can help with so much stuff. But if your goal is weight loss, food journaling can be absolutely eye-opening, especially when you get detailed with it. So set a reminder on your phone, maybe at 8, 12, 3, and 6. Whenever the times are that you typically eat, set a reminder on your phone to remind you to journal. Get in the habit of it as while you're eating or as soon as you're done eating. Get into that journal and either use your app and put the food in there or write it down. And this is where you need to decide how high level or not, or how detailed you're going to be. So if you want to be really high level and you've never done this before, just writing down what you eat, like writing down lunch. I had a garden salad, grilled chicken, and ranch dressing. That's pretty high level and it's pretty quick. It probably takes you less than 30 seconds to do that. Or are you going to get more detailed? Are you going to weigh and measure your lettuce? Are you going to weigh and measure your chicken? I'm not as concerned usually with people weighing and measuring their vegetables, but weigh and measure the other foods, your proteins, your complex carbohydrates, your simple carbohydrates. Measure those things that really matter so you can become aware of the food size and quantity that a serving should be. It's usually incredibly eye-opening. People think they're eating a fist size worth of chicken, which might be 120 calories, but then they weigh it and measure it and look it up and they're like, wow, I was actually eating like 240 calories worth of chicken. I had no idea. So pick, if you're going to stick with high level, set a goal that within 2 weeks you're going to start to get more detailed and start to maybe weigh or measure your food after a couple weeks, after it becomes more routine. Pick a time frame that is not going to be daunting. Pick something that will be realistic for you. So now let's explore the two activity-related goals that we set. In our example, one of them was to exercise 2 days or more this week, and then to also set a short daily challenge. So here's an example of that. How will you make sure to exercise 2 days a week? Or maybe your goal was 3 or 4, whatever number you picked. You gotta schedule them into your calendar as though they're the most important meeting you've ever had. Do not miss your own meeting with yourself. You are more important than anything else. The time you set aside for yourself is so important, but seriously, use your phone calendar, schedule your time in, and stick to it. Set a reminder on your phone. Maybe find a workout buddy, because if you have that accountability, you won't miss the workout. Or find a live workout online that you will schedule to join into. The second activity-related goal that we set in our example was a short daily challenge. So how are you going to make sure to complete that challenge? Similarly to scheduling in your exercise, schedule your challenge in your calendar. If you pretty much go to bed almost the same time every night and you're going to do a nightly challenge of nighttime relaxational yoga for 10 or 15 minutes, set an alarm to go off at 9 o'clock or 9:30 or whatever time that is, so that it reminds you to do that challenge. Set that reminder on your phone, put it in your calendar. Maybe have a family member or a friend hold you accountable by checking in with you, or maybe even have a family member that's doing the challenge with you. So pick something that is, again, doable, that you can remember to do, that isn't so time consuming that you won't be able to do it. So those are just some ideas to help you make an action plan and to reach your goals. Now you take this, and after 1 week, you look back on how you did. It's 7 days. I mean, you can't stick with something for 7 days, then you set goals that are unrealistic. So 7 days, challenge yourself, stick with it, and look back on it. And now you can really assess all of you've done because you've written it down. You've maybe made even check marks, and you can cross off the things that you've said you're going to do that you did do, or maybe you can make notes next to things that you didn't do or that you didn't do as well as you had hoped, and write down why. So this is an example of my action plan for week number 1, where I was crossing off things that I accomplished, putting a sad face on things that I didn't really do that I said I was going to do. And then, I'm looking at that, looking back on that and saying, what can I do better next week? So then I make a plan for week number 2. And that's what this sheet is here. And from what I did from week number 1, I made a week number 2 plan. I looked at things that I could improve on. I looked at other challenges that I can set for myself. And then I adjusted that plan based on how well I did the first week. So some things I crossed off because I didn't do as well the first week, fasting, for example, as I had hoped I had. And so fasting again this next week just didn't sound that awesome to me. So I crossed it off. And I changed my plan a little bit and I made some new goals. And that's okay because I want it to be realistic. So once you've done these weekly plans, these action plans with your goals that help you reach those monthly goals. You keep doing this week after week. You evaluate what you've done. You reassess. You make a new plan for week 3. You do that again for week 4. Usually around week 3 or 4, many of these things that were on your list, your action plans of how you're going to reach your goals, now have started to become a habit. And at the end of the month, you can look back on your entire sheet, your entire notebook, and evaluate how did you do? Celebrate what you did well, and then reflect on what you need to improve and write that down. Now you're going to make new monthly goals for the next month, and those are going to change. They're going to change based on what you did well, what you need to improve on, and then you're going to make those action plans for those new goals. You're going to do this exact same process for month number 2. You keep going through the process, it becomes easier and easier, and you start to form really good habits. So don't give up on it just because maybe you don't excel at it the first week. Just improve on it the next week. As long as you are making little baby steps of improvement every week, you will see results. Embrace it and be dedicated to it. And I promise you, you will reach your goals when you make detailed action plans to reach them. So please let me know what questions you have. Use the comments. And if you've already done some of this, because you've watched this a while, and maybe you had to watch it a couple times to really let things sink in, let me know how you're doing in the comments also. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you get notified of new videos. And then also let me know of any other videos and any other topics that you're interested so that I can help you reach your goals. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.